What's going on YouTube? Alan here, and you guys already know what's up by the title of the video. You 718 owners, beware of this issue. This is a 2017 718 Cayman S, and I have a CV axle boot leak. And I have just barely over 10,000 miles on the car. So, it is what it is. The reason why you 718 owners should be aware of this issue is because from what I've seen, it's very common. Looking through Reddit forums, 718 forum, and even talking to Porsche Tech, they said this is a common thing. I think it's just a manufacturing issue. There's no reason that at 10,000 miles this car should be having CV axles leaking. This shouldn't be too big of an issue. If you zoom in really close and look at the clamp, you'll see that it is not properly crimped all the way, and I believe that that's the issue. So this is what you may or may not need in order to fix your CV boot leak. Depending on what you decide to do, you're going to need or may not need some of these things. So the first thing here, these are our offset boot clamp pliers. This is what you'll use to clamp that ring together and recrimp it, make sure it's tight. And these are just some extra CV clamps that are not that expensive at all. I just got them at my local Porsche dealer. I don't think I'm going to need those for what I'm going to be doing today. I'll dive deeper in that here in a second. And here is the grease that would go into the boot. This is crazy expensive. This is like $70. $70 for 100 grams of grease. It is what it is, but hopefully today, with the way I'm going to be fixing it, you're not going to need either of these. I just got that just in case. In most cases that I've seen online, the boot is not actually ripped. The boot is fine. It's just the clamp behind it that keeps the grease where it's supposed to be. And so your first option, tighten up the crimp, tighten up the band, and hope that the leak stops. Some kind of downsides to it is the amount of grease that has come out already, you're not going to put back in. You'd have to take the clamps off carefully so that you don't rip the boot and refill it with some grease. If you rip the boot, man, I don't even want to go down that route. I'm not going to be taking the boot off. I've never driven the car while it's been like that. It started after I winterized it, and it's probably been 2 or 3 months since I've driven the car, so I know that all the grease is basically in there. This isn't professional advice, but with my own car, I care about my car. I think that there's enough grease in there that if I just reseal it and it stops leaking, then it's going to be a non-issue, and the amount of grease that's already in there is going to be sufficient. All right, check it out. Alright, so we tightened her up and cleaned up the boot just so we can see if it leaks, and now it's just a waiting game. We're just going to watch and see how it goes. I'll have a better picture put up, but you can see that the crimp is a lot tighter, and hopefully it's going to stop our leak.